everyone. Thank you for coming today. I know it's been a really long day. So I'll just introduce myself first. My name is Andrea Mitchell and I work for BT. And I'm one of the assessment centre managers. There are 6 of us and we all work in different areas of BT. So I look after enterprise, and enterprise is the part of BT that looks after businesses. So we've got consumer, technology, global and digital and networks, as well as OpenReach and EE. So why choose BT as an option? Oops. So we've got 2 apprentices here. So I'm going to be asking you these questions. Why did you choose BT as your apprenticeship?
Hello, I'm Indu and I'm currently in a business management degree apprenticeship and in a finance sector. The reason I chose BT is because it's a really well-known company and I always know it's a safe bet, like not going to a traditional uni route. I wanted to make sure that when I do my degree apprenticeship it's in a university that's like recognisable and have a good reputation, and I know BT is amazing and like who doesn't know BT, so that's my sole reason.
Thank you. Jack?
I'm Jack, yeah. So I'd say the main reason I chose BT was the 4 rotations we get. So I started last year in a project management rotation. I've since moved into finance in January. I'll also have another further 2 rotations in the 4-year apprenticeship I do. So I'd say the main reason is I sort of get to experience like 4 sectors and like four totally different jobs in BT, so I can sort of find out exactly what I want to do in the future, and that's probably the main reason for me.
Thank you. So moving on. So, 100% renewable electricity worldwide in 2021 alone, 358 million saved since 2009 through to our energy efficient management program, 57% reduction in carbon intensity of our operations since 2016-17. We had a 29% cut in carbon emissions over the last year. All 999 calls come through BT. So, you know, we do a really important job for all of us, not just businesses. Phone lines, I'm a Celebrity we deal with, Strictly, X Factor, and we have 40,000 cyber threats a day in BT. So come and join our cybersecurity roles. Please, we need you. So we have a disaster recovery team, and last year we had 109 new patient applications to our system. So that's BT. Moving on. So, we have a wide range of apprentices. We've got business, marketing. We're looking at bringing in a legal apprenticeship. So there was a wide range. If you come to our table, we have a list. It's not exhaustive. There are a few more on there. So please do come and have a look. So why do an apprenticeship? Well, an apprenticeship is you can earn as you learn, and at the end of it you get a qualification. So that can be a professional qualification or a degree, whatever you choose, depending on what you want to do. So if you come to BT, we're a big organisation with loads and loads of different roles. So you might start with your apprenticeship and end with your apprenticeship, but you'll end up with a job at the end of it, and that's what's really important to us. And we also want you to be yourself, and like I said, I'm an assessment centre manager, so I actually run the assessment centre days. So Indu and Jack will have seen someone like me run the assessment centre days. We want you to be yourselves. If you're a quiet person, you've got nothing to worry about. If you're someone who's very chatty, you've got nothing to worry about. We look at what you're saying as opposed to how you're saying it. So your personality, bring yourself, that's what we're saying. And we do take into consideration all abilities, and the entry criteria is a pass. And even if you don't get the entry criteria, if you've been made an offer, we'll take your situation into consideration, so we'll look at you individually, so we're very personalised as well. Okay, so moving on. So it does lead to a full-time job. It's not necessarily for people who couldn't get to university, it's for people who don't necessarily want to get to university through the natural or the normal route that people usually go to. There are not only manual jobs in BT, there are office jobs as well. I do one. And you will earn more than the minimum wage. We've recently had an increase in salary for our apprentices, and the salary goes up. Is it 3,000 a year? When you're on
£3,500 per year.
When you're on your apprenticeship. So, and when the apprenticeships come out, this year when we had our application start in September, last year, the salary was increased. So those that are starting in September 2022 are getting more than that they expected when they originally applied. So the salary you see on the job description can sometimes increase. Here we got, I'll only be making tea and coffee. No, you won't. You definitely do a job. So Indu, can you explain your first and second year rotations?
Yes, so I was in project management for my first year, and it was more so with working alongside my team, and I did all the tasks that my team handed to me, and it was along working in presentations. It was definitely like preparing tea and coffee. It was office job work and presentations, and like you'd be presenting to like board members who were so high up in the senior leadership team, and it was an amazing experience. And I did that throughout the whole year, presentations, working alongside my team. And for the second year I moved into a finance rotation, which I'm currently in, and I deal with like spreadsheets, data, Excel, a lot of numbers, being in finance, just any task that my team gives me, and it's like proper work that actually accounts for the company, and it's not just something you're doing because they've got to find you some work. It's not like a work experience, it's actual proper work for the company that you're doing, and that's going to count towards. So yeah, definitely a great experience, and it feels good that your work is actually like being appreciated, and that actually counts towards the company rather than doing some work experience. So yeah, it feels good, and great 2 rotations, nothing to complain about really.
Jack?
So I've done exactly the same as Indu. I started project management last year, and I moved in to finance also in January. But I would say there's a lot of options actually to like rotations. So I'm searching for like the next rotation in like HR or something like that. So I'd say there's a lot of availability, and always sort of look for what you want. I personally like don't like wait for it. You're better off searching out exactly what you want to do.
Thank you very much for that. So, another mythbuster is I won't get any good qualifications. You will absolutely get good qualifications. So for the project management, you get APM, which is Associate Project Manager. And if you're doing finance, you'll get AAT or ACCA, depending on which level you do. So the degrees are real. And it's not just for boys. We're certainly looking for a lot more women to join us, especially in our engineering and IT roles, where they're few and far between. So please do. You don't need to know anyone that works for BT. Certainly a lot of our apprentices don't know anyone that works for BT, and we do employ hundreds of apprentices every year. So here are 3 of our apprentices. I've actually met the chap in the middle, and obviously we've got 2 here. So fact 1, that's Alicia. Sorry, I can't even read these. Yeah, so we've got Alicia, Amir, and Catherine. So what programs do you have and what is the application process? So I think I've mentioned a lot of the programs a little bit earlier, but the application process is you apply online and you do a psychometric test. It doesn't take very long. Then there's a video interview, and then depending on how you score in the video interview, you're invited to the assessment centre. And like I said, I'm one of the assessment centre managers. The assessment centre isn't a daunting experience at all, I can guarantee that. So I'm hoping to get Jack and Indu to speak about their experiences. What we're looking for is your potential. So, we want you to bring your whole selves as you are, exactly as you are. We're not looking for little BT robots to come in and join BT. We don't focus on, how much you talk. It's all about what you say, and we're looking for the potential. And we put our assessment centre managers through a very rigorous process to make sure there's absolutely no bias whatsoever in any of our assessment centres. And I do home in on the bias, believe me. So, how did you feel about your assessment centre? How did it feel for you?
So first of all, I was really scared actually going into it, but after about like 10 minutes or so, I realised everybody's just really friendly, and you just sort of like speak about exactly like what you have to say, and that's literally it. It's not daunting at all. Everyone's really nice, yeah. Yeah,
that's exactly what we want.
Yeah, so with our business management degree, there's two processes. One, you have a video interview, which it's automated. Like, you have questions that are already set by BT, and you answer them in they're situation questions. So they'll be asking, oh, tell us a time when you faced this problem. Tell us a time how you dealt with that problem. Questions, like really generic question, which you can prepare beforehand. In all honesty, like if you get your questions and if you have your experiences, say, then it's amazing. Like, you could relate any experience to any of the questions, and that's what they want. You're backed by some kind of situations you've dealt with, and if you lucky enough to pass that stage, you'll move on to the assessment centre, which is online again. But in that one, it's just a little tricky because you have a scenario question, but that just means they just want to see how will you deal with the situation when you have it, without any sort of telling you that you're going to get a problem now. So they want to see you on that situation, getting that on that day, how will you deal with it? And it's basically you using your own knowledge, using what BT do, and coming up with answers, because what BT really like is they don't really like to have some kind of structure or forever. They want to because they like to appoint loads of new apprentices, they want to see what we can make a difference to the world. They want our brains, basically. They want to see what changes in the technology and how fast it's developing. They really want to use us. They don't really want apprentices just for the sake of it. They actually want us to be involved in things that's going on. So I feel like that makes you feel more valuable in the company, and feel like you have a say, and you realise that as you go on in different sectors, that all the managers, senior managers, they'll ask you, what's your opinion on this? They'll ask you, what do you think about this? And when I first heard my manager say that, I was thinking, why are you asking for my opinion? I'm literally an apprentice. But it just shows that BT really, really values it. It's not for the sake of it. They want an apprentice, but they actually want it to make a difference in the company. And the rigid structures, the rigid process they have, they want to make it simplified for the new generation, and by using us, because we're the new generation, right? So I feel like all the interview stages, they're there for a reason, and to find out the right candidate. And I feel like once you pass them, you will not find all of your rotations any more difficult, because I feel like you get a good gist what BT is about with all of the stages they have. And honestly, I would advise, loads of you asking advice for the stage process, all I would say is just be yourself. And it's not it is formal, of course, but it doesn't have to be, oh, I am there, and all of them, sentences that you've got to get. You don't prepare for anything. Just be yourself.
Thank you. So I'm going to show you some of our apprenticeships here. So we've got customer service level 2. We actually have some vacancies at the moment. So if you're interested, look at our website. So it's bt.com careers. and you can find our apprentices there. We've got power engineer level 3, field engineer, digital support technician, data analyst, associate project manager, cyber security, applied research, software engineer, network engineering, sales specialist, and they're just some of our assessments. That's not all of them, believe me. We've got different locations. We've got a new building in Birmingham, which I work in. It only opened in September. It's got a sauna, if that helps anyone make any decisions. No? Yes? We've got Belfast, Bristol, Birmingham, Cardiff, Cheltenham, Glasgow, Gloucester, Ipswich, London and Manchester. There are more as well. So, what else do you need to know? Starting salaries, that's incorrect, as I've said. It is not 16,422, it's now 17,922. And that was increased from September, and we increased it this year. Once you're in, all our apprentices are permanent jobs. So you do 1 day in college and 4 days at work. And at the end of it, you get a role. And the salary goes up annually. We are closing our applications for everyone who's starting in September very, very soon. However, for our intake in September 2023, our applications will start in September, October this year. Okay? And for those people who have been through our processes before and not passed the assessment centre, you can try again. We will not turn you away, so you can come and do it again the next year, okay? So, moving on. See, I can't read without my glasses. The application process. So, you need to fill in some basic information about yourself, your qualifications, check whether you have the right to work in the UK. You do not need to upload a CV. We do not look at your CV at any part of the recruitment process. So, if you've applied for a level 2 or level 3 apprenticeship, you'll be asked to complete some online tests, and we'll look at your working style and preferences, all of which is linked to how we access our colleges internally at BT. We also ask you a series of cognitive questions, and you'll have a chance to take part in some practice tests before you get familiar. So you can practice your test before you take the official one. Okay? Hopefully that will make it a little bit easier for you, and it's not as scary as it sounds. Then you'll take part in a video interview, which Indu talked about earlier, and you just answer some situational questions. And we're not looking for business-related answers, because some of you may not have worked before. We understand that. It's all about how your potential is through what you're saying. So please, it's nothing to worry about. And the last stage is you'll be invited to an assessment centre where you'll be met by somebody like me, who will put you at ease. At the beginning of the day, you have 4 exercises, and they're not taxing. And like I said, once you start your first interview, you start to relax, because our assessment centres are put through a very rigorous process. So they're all really nice people and very good at what they do. So, one of the things we want is for you to absolutely be yourself. It has been mentioned before. It's really, really important that you come as yourself, because if you come as yourself, you'll be more authentic in the interview. I get a lot of questions before assessment centres like, what shall I wear? I don't care. Don't come naked. Just put clothes on. That's fine. You know, hoodie's fine, because we know we want you to be as comfortable as possible. We're not looking at how you're dressed. Okay? Not at all. Do your research on BT. That was mentioned by Indu earlier. Please do your research on BT. There's plenty of information on the internet about BT. And practice. And you'll have opportunities to practice through our recruitment process. And finally, any questions? No? You're all really shy? So am I. No? Okay, well, thank you very much for coming. Please do come to our stand. It's sort of round by the front. And I have a list of all the available apprenticeships that we had this year. There may be additional ones come September, so please do come round and have a chat with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.